True social justice is possible when.
True social justice is possible when we center our collective good, when we are open to meaningful feedback. So feedback that is coming from a place of growth and love. When we recognize our interconnectedness, right? I think one of the beautiful things of the union experience and being with my dad is like recognizing that we are better when we are all collectively working together and we know that we are all connected in this way. And so social justice happens when we don't see each other as others and as an us or an all, and then we can then move forward in a stronger way, in a more I think there's more of us. When I'm not seeing you as you're over there and I'm over here, but we are all sort of one thing and moving um, towards progress.
Okay. My approach to social justice is shaped by.
My approach to social justice is shaped by my best friend in my head, Bell Hooks, rest in peace. Her theories about love and teaching and growing. If you've never read Teaching to Transgress, are all about love. It is truly like, how do you create social justice practice based on love? And then how do you educate folks so that they can be awakened themselves, right? And to think critically for themselves. My social justice practice is definitely informed by my intergroup dialogue training and being a facilitator and continuing to do that work. My social justice practice is inspired and uplifted by my ancestors and recognizing that I know a lot of folks can't, but I can trace at least my dad's side of lineage back to American chattel slavery. And I know like where they were and plantation and all those things. And so recognizing that I know that's where I come from and the work and sacrifices people have made for me to be here is a recognition and a motivator. Like, I got work to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got work
Got work to
to do.
do. That's
I got
real.
work to do. Yeah, and inspired by writers, Alice Walker, Hughes. I create young people, Black creativity, all of those things. It's informed and inspired by arts, music, and just a real sort of internal wanting better for people, for the world. I talked about earlier, my nephew is 2 and I'm obsessed
Yeah.
with this kid. And I want
Mm,
him to have the best life and to
mhm.
have all the opportunities and all of the things. And I want to create space so that folks can do that, so that he can do that. So that we all can live and exist and not police ourselves and others, and that we can be free.
Understanding and sharing our social justice origin stories is important because.
Because at least in our current political context in mid to late summer 2024, social justice and DEI is personified and villainized is the word I'm
Mm,
going to use in a certain way. And our stories need to be shared to humanize our experiences, those of us who do the work for the greater good to make
mhm.
something better.
Yeah.
We are real people interested in the collective good of folks. Sharing our social justice stories are important because the DEI work and social justice work as it exists now is very new. And a lot of folks are navigating this space without mentorship, without um, narratives, without support, and are often as we talked about, the only person
Yeah.
in the organization who's like working to do this work. and to allow folks to know that they're one, not alone, two, other people have navigated the space, and that there's a collective and community that exists. And sharing our social justice stories are important because sharing story is important. It is both our legacy, right? So this oral tradition of sharing story, sharing lived experience is important in telling our perspective of existence, right? So we can think about enslaved folks who taught themselves to read so that they could read the Bible. We can think about early African American authors writing stories about what it was like to live in Harlem in the 1920s, what it was. Lorraine Hansberry who wrote about, what it was like to live in Chicago in the 50s and 60s and to try to buy a house, to share like the real lived experience of people who are doing this work, and sharing those narratives is a part of a greater ancestry and important that all of those folks before us who share their stories, they wanted to share that we existed, that these people, that the narratives that were said about them were not necessarily true and more nuanced than that. And that generations from now, people will be like, oh, so those are the folks who were doing this. This is why this
That's right.
policy exists. This is why, oh, we have 1 year maternity leave. I don't know what make happen. Then they're like, oh, okay, this was, I don't know what they're going to call our era, like historical era, but whatever, if we're the post civil rights part two, whatever our sort of era's nickname will be, I don't know. That we were the people here, and that this is the truth, like of our
Mhm.
experience.
Mhm. We were here. This
We were here.
That's right. That's right.